Okay, so have you ever like slice your finger open while you're, trying to be a fancy chef?
Oh, wait.
It's like crazy how fast your body just like stops the bleeding.
Yeah, it's really remarkable.
So today we are going deep on platelets.
Tiny but mighty.
They really are. And how they get activated to, stop us from bleeding out.
Right.
And we're going to focus on these things called GPCRs.
Ah, yes.
G protein coupled receptors.
The signaling molecules.
Yeah.
Very important.
And don't worry, we've got our expert here to break it all down.
Absolutely.
Our source material today is an article from Assay Genie
Yes.
called Unraveling the Mysteries of Platelet-Activating GPCR Signaling.
It's a good one.
It is. So get ready to like decode the science behind your blood clotting.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing stuff.
It is, and it's something that happens a lot more than you realize.
Right.
This whole clotting process.
Yeah.
We call it hemostasis. And without it, even like the tiniest little scrape could be a serious problem.
So hemostasis is like our body's damage control system. And the GPCRs are like the sensors that detect the damage.
They're like little antennas on the surface of platelets picking up signals.
So say I get a paper cut. What's the first signal that those GPCRs are picking up?
Well, one of the first responders is thrombin, a
Okay.
key player in the clotting cascade.
So it's like already in there just like waiting.
Exactly.
Mm.
It activates these receptors called PRs, which are like the platelet's personal alarm system.
So PRs like the motion sensors.
Yeah, think of it like that.
That set off an alarm when someone breaks into your house.
Exactly. When thrombin binds to PRs, it sets off a chain reaction inside the platelet, getting it ready for action.
Action meaning transforming into a sticky blob and plugging up the hole.
You got it. But it's not just random clumping. It's a carefully orchestrated process.
Right.
And different types of GPCRs play a role in fine-tuning it.
Oh, so there's more than one type of GPCR involved?
Oh, yeah. There are indeed.
Okay, tell me more.
Besides PRs, we have what are called ADP receptors, specifically one called P2Y12, which is quite famous in the world of pharmacology.
Ooh, fancy.
And then there's Thromboxane A2 receptors.
Wow. Okay, so we've got like a whole team of receptors here.
We do a whole team working together.
So what makes that P2Y12 receptor so famous?
Well, P2Y12 is less about starting the clotting and more about making sure it keeps going.
Okay.
It works by manipulating this molecule called cyclic AMP, or CAMP for short.
KMP. Now that rings a bell. I think that was in biology class.
Yeah, it was. You remember, right? It's involved in cell signaling.
Yeah, it was like a messenger or something, right?
Exactly. KMP is basically like a messenger telling the platelet, hey, everything's cool, no need to activate.
So it's like the chill signal.
Yeah, you could say that. And what P2Y12 does is block the production of CAMP-PP.
Oh, so it like shuts off the chill signal.
Exactly. It takes the brakes off platelet activation and makes sure they stick together.
Oh, so it's like the hype man at the party.
Uh-huh. I like that analogy.
Keeping the party going by like silencing the let's calm down messages.
Exactly. And you know what's really cool? This understanding of PY12's role has really changed how we treat heart attacks and strokes.
Wait, really? So how does that work?
Researchers figured out that by blocking P2Y12, you can actually prevent dangerous blood clots.
Oh, wow.
That's led to drugs like clopidogrel, which are widely used now to prevent heart attacks and strokes.
So this tiny little receptor is having a huge impact on medicine.
Huge impact.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, but we still have one more GPCR to cover, right? What about those Thromboxane A2 receptors?
Ah, yes. Those are the amplifiers.
The amplifiers.
They respond to a molecule called thromboxane A2, which is released by the activated platelets themselves.
Wait, so the platelets are like calling for backup?
Yeah, but
by sending out more signals?
exactly. It's like a chain reaction.
Wow, it's like they're saying, hey, we need more sticky blobs over here.
Yeah, exactly. This is what we call a positive feedback loop. The initial activation triggers a cascade
Okay.
that amplifies the clotting response, so it makes sure there's a rapid and robust response to injury.
So it's like an army of platelets just like swarming to the scene.
Yeah, it's a well-coordinated army.
I'm starting to see how it all fits together. It's definitely complex.
It is a complex system.
I'm imagining all those different GPCRs on the surface of the platelet, like a control panel,
Okay, I like
with
it.
different buttons triggering different actions.
Yeah, that's a good way to visualize it. And just like a control panel, each button or each GPCR needs to be activated in the right sequence
Right.
at the right time
At the right time.
for everything to work properly.
So what happens if one of those buttons malfunctions? Or if like the signals get crossed?
Well, that's when things can go wrong.
Oh no.
Too much clotting can lead to things like strokes or heart attacks,
Right.
and not enough clotting can lead to excessive bleeding.
So it's all about finding that right balance.
Finding the right balance.
And understanding how those different GPCRs work is key for developing treatments that can restore that balance when it's off.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's all about understanding the system.
So we've got these three main players, the PIs sounding the alarm,
The alarm.
P2Y12 keeping the party going,
The life of the party.
and then Thromboxane A2 receptors amplifying the signal.
Amplifying the signal.
It's like a perfectly choreographed dance.
It is.
With each receptor playing a specific part.
The very important part.
This is all super cool, but I'm guessing there's even more to the story.
Oh, there's always more to the story.
Scientists are always uncovering new layers of complexity.
Absolutely. There's a whole world of research exploring the nuances of GPCR signaling.
Whoa.
How these pathways are regulated.
Right.
And how we can actually manipulate them to treat a wide range of diseases.
So this is just the beginning of our deep dive into the world of platelets and their incredible power.
It is just the beginning.
And I, for one, can't wait to see what other secrets we uncover. But before we journey further, let's take a moment to let all this amazing science sink in. We'll be right back to explore those future frontiers and see what's next for these tiny but mighty cells.
Sounds good. So you mentioned manipulated GPCRs to actually promote healing and regeneration.
Yeah.
Not just stopping bleeding.
It sounds almost too good to be true.
I know, right? It's pretty amazing, but there's real science behind it.
Okay, so, what are we talking about here?
Imagine harnessing the power of these tiny cells
Okay.
to help mend bones, heal wounds faster,
Wow.
or even repair damaged nerves.
Okay, now you're talking science fiction. How would that even work?
Well, one promising avenue involves using molecules that activate specific GPCRs
Okay.
to stimulate the production of growth factors.
Now, growth factors, those are like the VIPs of tissue repair, right?
Exactly. They're these proteins that basically orchestrate the whole healing process.
Okay.
They stimulate cell growth and division, promote blood vessel formation, all that good stuff.
So we can actually, tell the body to make more of these healing superstars?
Yeah, by activating the right GPCRs.
So it's like giving the body's natural healing process a turbo boost.
That's a great way to put it. It's like sending in a specialized team to kickstart the repairs.
I love that analogy. So what kind of injuries are we talking about here?
Well, researchers are looking at a wide range of applications.
Okay.
From everyday wounds and bone fractures to more complex cases like spinal cord injuries
Wow.
and even neurodegenerative diseases.
Okay, my mind is officially blown. Are there any early success stories?
It's still early days, but there have been some encouraging results.
Like what?
For example, activating certain GPCRs can significantly speed up wound healing in diabetic mice,
Oh, wow.
which normally have a really hard time healing.
That's amazing. Diabetes is such a big problem.
It's a huge problem.
And wound healing is a challenge for so many people. To think we might be able to help them heal faster and more completely, that's incredible.
Yeah, it really highlights how understanding these cellular processes can open up incredible possibilities for treating all sorts of conditions.
Okay, so we've got this potential for healing and regeneration. What other exciting developments are on the horizon for GPCR research?
Well, another area that's generating a lot of buzz is the development of more targeted antiplatelet therapies.
Okay, so like the opposite of what we were just talking about.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah.
As we discussed earlier, the drugs we currently use, like clopidogrel, they're effective at preventing clots,
Right.
but they also carry a risk of bleeding complications.
Right, because they're essentially interfering with the body's natural clotting system.
Exactly. So the goal now is to create drugs that are more precise
Okay.
in their action, targeting only the specific GPCR subtypes that are involved in harmful clot formation.
So you're not messing with the ones that are needed for normal clotting.
Exactly. It's like designing a key that fits only one specific lock,
I like that.
minimizing the chances of unlocking the wrong door and causing those unwanted side effects.
That makes a lot of sense. Are researchers making any progress in that area?
They are. They're using some really sophisticated techniques like structure-based drug design, where they're basically creating custom-made molecules that bind with high affinity to their target GPCRs.
Wow, so it's like a perfect match.
Exactly.
They-
A perfect match. The potential benefits are huge.
Right.
Imagine a future where we can prevent heart attacks and strokes without increasing the risk of bleeding.
That would be a game changer.
Absolutely. A game changer for millions of people.
It's mind-boggling to think how far we've come in our understanding of these tiny cells
I know, it's
and,
amazing.
and the intricate signaling pathways they control.
Yeah.
From stopping bleeding to promoting healing,
Uh-huh.
even regenerating tissues, the potential of platelets is truly remarkable.
It is. It really is. It's a powerful reminder that sometimes the smallest things can have the biggest impact.
I love that. So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, what's the key takeaway you want our listener to remember?
I think the biggest takeaway is that scientific curiosity can lead to incredible breakthroughs. The more we learn about the complexities of the human body, the better equipped we are to develop new and innovative therapies to improve health and well-being.
Beautifully said. And speaking of scientific curiosity, I have one final slightly out there thought for our listener to ponder. What if, and hear me out on this, we could actually engineer platelets to deliver therapeutic payloads directly to injured or diseased tissues?
Oh, now you're talking. It's like turning platelets into microscopic delivery trucks.
Exactly. Imagine using engineered platelets to deliver drugs, genes, or even stem cells precisely where they're needed.
Wow.
We could potentially revolutionize the way we treat everything from cancer to autoimmune diseases.
The possibilities are mind-blowing.
Right.
Of course, there would be scientific and ethical considerations to address,
Of course.
but the potential benefits are enormous.
Absolutely. It's a reminder that the future of medicine is limited only by our imagination and our determination to push the boundaries of what's possible.
Well said. And who knows what other amazing secrets these tiny cells hold. It's a journey of discovery that's just beginning.
I couldn't agree more. Well, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the fascinating world of platelets and their incredible power.
It's been a pleasure exploring these cutting-edge concepts with you.
The pleasure was all mine. Until next time, keep those platelets flowing and never stop exploring the wonders of science. So we've been talking about all these mind-blowing scientific discoveries about platelets.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing stuff.
And it got me thinking, remember that time I sliced my finger open trying to, impress everyone with my knife stills?
Ah, yes, the infamous avocado incident of 2023.
Exactly. It wasn't pretty, but it's fascinating how my body just knew exactly what to do to stop the bleeding.
Yeah, our bodies are pretty incredible.
All thanks to those amazing platelets and their, intricate signaling pathways.
It really is a testament to the power of evolution.
It is. It really makes you appreciate the complexity of life.
It does. And how much we still have to learn.
Absolutely. We've come a long way in our understanding of platelets and GPCR signaling, but there's still so many unanswered questions.
Oh yeah, so many mysteries left to unravel.
Which brings me to a final thought I wanted to leave our listeners with today.
Okay, I'm all ears.
We've talked about how platelets stop bleeding and how we can manipulate them to enhance healing,
Right.
even the possibility of engineering them to deliver targeted therapies.
Right.
But what if, and this is where I really want to stretch our imaginations,
Okay.
what if platelets could hold the key to unlocking even greater human potential?
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Tell me more.
What if someday we could harness the power of platelets to not just repair damage, but to actually, enhance our physical capabilities?
Enhance our capabilities, give us superhuman strength and speed.
Okay, maybe not quite to that extent.
Okay.
But imagine if we could use platelets to, boost muscle recovery or increase stamina,
Yeah.
or even improve cognitive function.
That's a fascinating concept. It's like taking regenerative medicine
Yeah.
and applying it to enhance human performance. Exactly. And who knows, maybe someday the line between science fiction and reality will blur even further.
It's possible.
Maybe we'll see athletes breaking world records thanks to platelet-enhanced therapies, or scientists developing ways to boost brain power
Right.
using these tiny cellular powerhouses.
It's a tantalizing thought for sure.
It is. There are definitely countless ethical and scientific hurdles to overcome before we reach that point.
Oh, absolutely.
This is all speculation for now,
Right.
but it's exciting to think about the possibilities, to
Yeah.
consider how our growing understanding of platelets might lead to breakthroughs that not only treat diseases, but actually push the boundaries of human potential.
I completely agree. It's a reminder that the journey of scientific discovery is never truly over. There's always something new to learn, something new to explore,
Yeah.
something new to imagine.
And who knows, maybe one of our listeners today will be inspired to make those groundbreaking discoveries. So to our listener, we say, keep asking questions, keep exploring, keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Because the future of science and the future of humanity depends on curious minds like yours.
Well said.
And on that note, it's time to wrap up our deep dive into the incredible world of platelets. Thanks for joining us on this journey of discovery.
It's been a pleasure sharing these fascinating insights with you.
Until next time, stay curious and keep those platelets flowing.